How hard do you think it would be to eat cereal in space?
What, in zero gravity?
Yeah.
I reckon it'd be really difficult and inconvenient. Although I've got a great idea. If you put a funnel upside down on top of your bowl, then maybe the Cheerios
It would
go.
then become the most easy thing to do in the world.
Yeah.
But
Solutions.
no, if you turn it upside down, it's not going to fall down, is it?
No. I mean, like, let's say you've got the bowl in your left hand.
Yeah.
Then you just like quickly put the cereals in.
Right.
And then you put an upside down funnel on top of the bowl.
Right.
And then you just put your mouth on top of the end of the funnel, and it would just kind of eventually all end
you
up
just
in your
sort
mouth.
of suck it in?
Yeah. I guess you suck in. Yeah. So you kind of open up the funnel a little bit, and then you suck in, and the air can come in.
Man, I really want to go to space. Try this.
So that kind of in-depth discussion.
And more. Swearing, spoilers, and opinions.
Coming at you.
250 reasons.
That's a spaceship.
Is it? Hello and welcome to 250 Reasons to Stay Indoors. I'm Jordan.
I'm Keiran.
And that's Deanna leaving the room.
Bye. She has a nice lolly, everyone.
Yes, she has an ice lolly, and this is the podcast where we watch the IMDb top 250 films. You love how I segue, don't you?
Yeah, that was cool. That was nice.
So today we're watching The Pianist. What? I'm trying so hard not to say The Pianist.
Well, it's going to sound like that whether we do it or not. I always try really hard to pronounce the T whenever I'm telling people, oh, yeah, I'm going to watch The Pianist. And
Pianist. See, that's better than Pianist or...
Yeah, because they're like, why did you say it like that? That sounds stupid.
Pianist.
Yeah.
Pianist.
And it is from 2002, number 40 on the list.
40.
Pretty high up there.
For those that you don't know, that's a 4 followed by a 0.
Yeah, just in case. So, Jordan, what do you think is going to happen in this film?
I reckon a man is going to play piano. I've heard it's a sad film, so maybe he's going to write the saddest song.
Right. So, okay. So he's a composer or a songwriter?
Okay, maybe he's going to compose the saddest song.
What key is the saddest key?
I
Mm-hmm.
want to say B flat.
I heard it might be E flat minor, but it could also be D flat minor.
Why is it supposed to be E flat minor? I can't remember.
It's just a thing. I don't know.
No, there's a thing. There's a reason.
There is a thing somewhere, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I can't tell you if he plays in that particular key. I have actually seen this film before.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, it's another one of those rare films that I have seen and Jordan hasn't.
Oh.
And I can tell you that it is indeed sad.
Okay, well, I mean, it's not like we've had loads of sad films.
I don't know. I feel like there's been enough sad films to...
I hope that it's not something around the Holocaust or something like that.
I mean, let's just wait and see, shall we, Jordan? Let's just wait and see if it's about the Holocaust or
You're making
not.
me feel like it is.
We'll see. So let's see if Jordan's hopes and
definitely
fears are true or not. Okay, see you in a bit.
All right, bye. And back again in a bit. And we're back with a couple of fast thoughts. Holocaust.
So it was a Holocaust film then. Jews.
Nazis.
This is this
We'll
going.
basically just do these
How
all over
many
again,
films
yeah.
has this been?
I don't
the
know,
style?
too many.
Poland.
Piano.
Can opener.
Gherkins.
One nice Nazi. Go on.
Jew policeman.
Yep. Pretty blonde Germans.
Child,
Oh no, Polish people. Sorry, pretty blonde ladies. I'll just say that.
Child beaten to death from behind and on the legs.
Oh God. Why did I do it?
Laughing at a woman who smothered her own child. Classic laughs.
Oh, good.
On 250 Reasons radio.
One more.
If I had to do one more, Keiran, and I will do one more,
Yeah.
I will most certainly do it in such a fashion that I have plenty of time to think about that extra one. And Kieran, that one more is a German officer coat.
Cool. I'm going to say salted caramel cubes.
Ah, yeah, good
Cool.
one. Okay, so are you ready with your 15-second pitch?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Am I ready with the timer?
Yeah, Jordan, this is the time of the podcast. I ask you in a very long question. Are you ready with the timer, Jordan?
Yes. 3, 2, 1, go.
Polish Jew is a pianist and he plays on the radio. He's really famous, and his family get taken to a concentration camp. He manages to escape because he's got a buddy in the Jewish police, and he tries to escape the whole time. He ends up being saved by the Polish people again. I'm back on the radio.
15 seconds.
Yay!
There we go. We did it.
Yes! It's been a while. Thank you. Was that one of those party poppers?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Okay, so we've kind of come to a conclusion that maybe our synopsi are not the greatest.
I'm going to say synopsises.
Okay, well,
Maybe.
you say synopsises, I say synopsi.
Let's call the whole thing off.
We all eat ice cream.
Yeah, it's got to be sorted out.
Yeah.
It's got to be like we wanted to audit the synopsis and be like, there's something not going okay here. So we're trying this new thing, Jordan.
Yeah, we're going to trial doing the synopsis off of the IMDb page, because there's no way that like we could recall the information as well as it's written down on a website that has the information.
Yeah,
the Internet Movie Database.
I mean,
That
it's
is what
going to
it
have
stands for,
it's
isn't
going to have what we need. Yeah, that is exactly what it stands for.
Okay, so Kieran's going to be doing the reading. I'm going to be doing the sound effects.
Yeah, I was waiting for a sound effect
okay.
for it. It's not a funeral.
No, but it's like wartime.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Everything's shit.
Okay.
I was going to try and do quiet ones behind you reading, but I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, go for it. The Pianist begins in Warsaw, Poland in September 1939 at the outbreak of the Second World War. First introducing Vladislav, or also called Vladek Spielman, who works as a pianist for the local radio. Less jazzy, more Chopin. The Polish army has been defeated in 3 weeks by the German army, and Spielman's radio station is bombed.
That was shit, sorry.
While he plays live on air. While evacuating the building, he finds a friend who introduces him to his sister, Dorota. Spielman is immediately attracted to her.
Ooh.
Vladislav returns home to find his parents and his brother and his two sisters packing to leave Poland. The family discusses the possibility of fleeing Poland successfully, and they decide to stay. That night, they listen to the BBC. That was the BBC.
Why do I keep doing trumpet sound? I'm better than this.
You are better than this.
I couldn't think of the...
That almost sounded like the countdown theme tune.
No.
What is the theme to? They listen to the BBC and hear that Britain and France have declared war on Germany. The family celebrates,
Hey!
believing the war will end quickly once the Allies are able to engage Germany. Conditions for Jews in Warsaw quickly deteriorate. Vladek meets. Sorry, I should have left some space. Vladek meets with Dorota, who accompanies him around Warsaw to learn of the injustice Jewish people have to face under the new Nazi regime. Businesses that were once friendly to them now don't allow their patronage. Vladek's father is harshly forbidden to walk on the sidewalk in the city by two German officers. When he begins to protest, one of the men hits him in the face.
Bong.
The family soon has to move to the Jewish ghetto established by Nazi rule. The Holocaust is starting, and the family, though well-to-do before the war, is reduced to subsistence,
Kieran, come on.
level. Although they are, I've never heard of that level. It's usually like
privileged much. As a
not
white
like that.
English man, of course you've never heard of subsistence level.
Subsistence. Oh, it's like existence, subsistence. I get it now. Level. Although they are still better off than many of their fellow Jews in the overcrowded, starving, pestilential ghetto.
Oh, subsistence.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it is. Vladislav takes a job playing piano at a restaurant in the ghetto, turning down an offer from a family friend to work for the Jewish police. And the family survives, but living conditions in the ghetto continue to worsen.
In the ghetto.
Worsen almost looks like Warsaw, and it's kind of distracting me. And scores of Jews die every day from disease, starvation, and random acts of violence by German soldiers. One night, the family sees the SS march into a house across the street and arrest a family. The eldest man is unable to stand when ordered because he is confined to a wheelchair, and the SS officers throw him over the balcony to his death.
I feel kind of bad making a sound effect.
Okay, that's fair enough. The other family members are gunned down in the street and run over by the SS truck if they survived. By 1942, the aged father must apply for working papers through a friend of Vladek's so that he can take a job in a German clothier. However, the day comes when the family is selected to be shipped to their deaths at the Treblinka concentration camp. Henrik and Helena, that's sisters, brother and sister of the main guy.
Vladislav.
Thank you. Are selected and taken away, and the rest of the family is sent to the Umschlagsplatz to wait for transport.
Well done.
They are later reunited. As the family sits under the blazing sun with hundreds of other Jews waiting for the trains, the father uses the family's last 20 zlotys, which is the currency, to buy a piece of candy from a boy who apparently isn't aware of his own impending doom. Because he's like, well, I'll...
give me money.
Yeah.
It's like those kids on the playground that used to sell sweets for money.
But you could do...
They weren't going to
be cooked in a concentration camp.
No, yeah, that's true.
As they are going to the trains, Vladislav is suddenly yanked from the lines by Itzhak Heller, a Jewish man working as a police guard. Vladislav watches the rest of his family board the train, never to be seen again. He hides for a few days in the cafe he played piano with his old boss there. He later blends in with 10% or so of the Jews that the Nazis kept alive in the ghetto to use for slave labor, tearing down the brick walls separating the ghetto and rebuilding apartment houses for new non-Jewish residents. He's put to work under grueling, abusive conditions, building a wall. Building a wall. We're going to build a wall.
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be so great. So Jewish. Jewish wall. He thinks he sees an old friend, Janina Godlewska, a singer, but she passes quickly. He learns that some of the Jews are planning on an uprising and helps them by smuggling guns into the ghetto.
In the ghetto.
While carrying bricks, he drops a load of them, is viciously whipped by an SS officer, and is given a new job supplying the workers with building supplies.
See, I think this works better if you point at me when you want the sound effect.
Okay, I'll do that.
And I'll just have to do it.
That's good. He also helps smuggle guns in potato sacks. The weapons will be given to the resistance fighters on the other side of the wall for the uprising. At one point, he is almost caught by a German police officer.
Come here, you!
I'm
a policeman!
Yeah, very, very German. Who decides who suspects that Vladek is hiding something in the sack of beans. After this close call, he decides he must escape and take his chances in the larger city. With the help of a friend, Majorek, who was the friend that got his father working papers a few years before, he escaped.
There you go. This is just the story of a small-time piano guy going to the big city.
yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. He escapes and finds Janina and her husband. They take Vladislav to his caretaker, Gebszkinski, a man with the Polish resistance.
Gebszkinski.
Who hides him for one night. The next day, Gebszkinski, I think that's it?
Dave Schminsky.
Takes him to a vacant apartment near the ghetto wall where he can live indefinitely on smuggled food. He must be silent. However, since several non-Jews also live in the building and believe the apartment is empty. Oh no! I said the intonation of that part of the sentence was wrong. I'm going to finish the sentence with a better intonation. Empty. There, Vladek watches part of the Jewish ghetto uprising of April to May 1943, for which he helped smuggle the weapons, and watches weeks later as the uprising is finally crushed and its participants killed. Later, Gebszkinski, this name is like
Dave Schminsky
is dotted throughout the paragraph more than any other name in the whole thing. Gebszkinski wants to move Vladek and the Nazis. Gebszkinski wants to move Vladek as the Nazis have found the weapons of the Polish resistance, forcing Gebszkinski to be on the run also. Gebszkinski says it's only a matter of time before... Can you say... It's only a matter of time?
It's only a matter of time.
Before the Nazis find the apartment Vladek is hiding in.
Why did I need to do that?
Sorry?
Why did I need to do that?
Oh, I feel like they say on here they've written something that they
quoted.
Well, it's not quoted, but it may as well be. Vladek decides to stay put, feeling safer where he is. His friend gives him an address to go in case of emergency and leaves, gravely warning Vladek not to be caught alive by the Nazis. The punctuation is interesting.
Yeah.
Vladislav remains in the apartment for a few more months until he has an accident breaking some dishes. The noise has blown his cover. Oh, sorry. Until he has broken some dishes.
Crash, crash, crash.
The noise has blown his cover and he has to scurry out of the building.
Scurry, 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 scurry.
Being chased by an angry German.
Angry German.
Woman.
Woman.
You can't just say what... Okay.
Angry German
Who
woman.
suspects him of being Jewish. Vladek goes to the emergency address he was given, where he surprisingly meets Dorota, who is now married, pregnant, and her brother dead. Dorota and her husband hide Vladek in another vacant apartment where there is a piano, but his new caretaker, Salas, is very slack about smuggling in food, and Vladislav once more faces starvation, and at one point almost dies of jaundice. Dorota and her husband visit him, finding him gravely ill. They report that Salas has been collecting money from generous and unwitting donors and has pocketed it all, leaving Vladek to die in isolation. Vladek recovers in time to see the larger 1944 Warsaw uprising, in which the Poles tried to retake control of their city. Soon the Germans start attacking the building and he has to flee. The Poles had expected the advancing Red Soviet army to help them, but the Russians did not come, instead allowing the Germans to put down the revolt and drive the entire remaining population of Warsaw out of the city. Vladislav hides in the abandoned hospital that had been across the street from his second hideout. The Germans had by then decided to burn Warsaw to ashes, so Vladislav flees the hospital and jumps back over the wall into the ghetto, now an abandoned, desolate wasteland of bricks and rubble. It's like The Walking Dead, but with just one person. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. If you just imagine crumbled buildings and cities in a long stretch.
Yeah. He stays there, rummaging through burned out buildings to find something to eat, and continues to hide until one night a Nazi officer, Captain Wilhelm Hossenfeld, finds him. To prove to Hossenfeld that he is a pianist, he plays a somber and brief rendition of Chopin's Ballade in G minor. Come on, Jordan.
Come on. Bling, bling, bling.
The first time he has
Clang.
played since he worked in the Jewish ghetto years before. Hossenfeld, moved by Spielmann's playing, helps him survive, allowing him to continue hiding in the attic even after the house is established as the captain's headquarters. Hossenfeld eventually abandons the house with the staff when the Russian army draws closer to Warsaw. Hossenfeld gives Vladek a final parcel of food in his overcoat. He asks Vladek for his surname, which sounds exactly like Spielmann, the German word for pianist.
Oh.
Makes sense. And because now I understand it, because in the film it's like the guy's like, that is a good name for a pianist, and and I was just like, I guess so.
That's it.
Maybe.
I thought it was just like, you sound like a pianist's name.
Exactly. But now I understand. Hossenfeld promises to listen for Vladek on the radio. Hossenfeld also tells him that he only needs to survive for a few more days, weeks actually, he says. The Russian army will liberate Warsaw soon. Shortly afterwards, Vladislav sees Polish partisans and, overcome with joy,
Yay!
thank you, Jordan, goes outside to meet his countrymen. Seeing his coat given to him by Hossenfeld, they think he is German and try to kill him before he can convince them he is Polish.
I'm Polish.
In the spring, newly freed Poles walk past an improvised Russian prisoner of war camp, and Hossenfeld is among the prisoners.
Help me out.
The Poles hurl insults
You dick.
at the Germans through the fence, but when
dick.
But when Hossenfeld hears that one of the Poles is a musician, he goes to the fence and tells him that he helped Vladislav.
I helped Vladislav.
And ask him to ask Vladislav to return the favor before a Russian soldier say
Is that
Russian
all
soldier.
you were trying to say?
Yeah.
Russian soldier.
Oh, it's easy for some. Before a Russian soldier.
Before a Russian soldier.
Before Sean Connery comes into the scene. Before a Russian
I was about
soldier.
to say, you just sure?
Throws him back to the ground. The Polish musician does indeed bring Vladislav back to the site to petition the Russians, but they have departed without a trace by the time he gets there. Vladislav is unable to help Hossenfeld, but he returns to playing piano for the radio station. Closing title cards tells us that Hossenfeld died in a Soviet gulag in 1952. Gulag sounds more fun than it really is. Gulag sounds
Come on,
really...
guys, let's go head down to the gulag.
Let's go to the gulag.
Crack open a cold one.
Vladislav lived to be an old man, 88 years old, am I right?
Yeah, I think
Died
so.
in 2000.
Yeah.
Dying in Poland in 2000. Okay. dying in Poland in 2000 at the age of 88. Trying to outwit the
just
synopsis
stop.
here. The cards are intercut with footage of Vladek triumphantly playing Chopin's Grande Polonaise Brillante in concert.
Grand Bolognese.
Polonaise Brillante. That's so big, brilliant Polish is what that that is.
Bolognese.
Polonaise.
Spaghetti Bolognese.
So that's a synopsis.
Yeah, so listeners, if you want to tell us if you preferred that style of intro, we'll probably be doing it for the next couple or so, see how it feels. Just tweet us at 250reasons or Facebook message or send us an email, 250reasons@gmail.com.
If you didn't like it, just keep downloading it anyway.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Just skip it.
So let's go into some beefs, yeah?
Yeah, sure. Do you want to start or shall I?
You know what? You start, because I have a feeling that your beefs statistically might be sooner than mine, because mine are real near the end.
Okay. So I actually had one within the first sort of 10 minutes of the film, I think.
Oh, okay.
And it was just when his sister, they're all arguing, and his sister is just like, order, please.
Mm-hmm.
Who speaks like that? Like, I mean...
Oh, these are posh Jewish people back in the day.
No, but even, come on. Who speaks like that? That's so, like, formal.
Yeah, but she's a lawyer.
You're at the table, like, eating dinner. You're not, like...
Okay, what else would you say to try and get your family's attention?
I'd just shout anything, but I'm not going to say order, please.
These are very civilized people, though, Jordan. You have to remember
I'm pretty civilized, you know?
Yeah, but
I know how to use chopsticks.
You're not... That's cultured, not civilized. There's a difference, I think.
Oh, well, I use jade chopsticks.
Okay, where did this come from?
From the order, please.
Yes, so they're civilized people and they're back in the day. So they're going to be talking a little bit more fancy, I think.
Okay, I still just think that's
weird. But I
weird.
do agree.
It feels like it was just shoehorned in there to like make it even more apparent that his sister was a lawyer. And then I've got one more.
All right, yeah, cool.
And it's more towards the end when when the German officer's giving him his coat,
yeah,
he goes outside and he's like, I'm Polish, and they're trying to shoot him.
Yeah.
And then they're like, they stop, and he's like, oh, yeah, he's Polish.
How could they tell?
Yeah, how could they tell?
I don't know. Like maybe there's the way that he said I'm Polish is like his accent was very Polish, or maybe like
but it's like he stopped to look at him.
Maybe they recognized that he was the pianist with his massive fucking Shutter Island beard. No, not Shutter Island. What's the fucking
Revenant.
Castaway?
Oh,
I haven't seen that film, but I saw
it's a good film.
I saw a picture of Tom Hanks. It is Tom Hanks, isn't it?
What, in Castaway?
In Castaway.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Revenant.
No, the picture that I'm thinking of is the one where he's in Forrest Gump and he's running with the big beard.
Oh, okay.
I think it's equally as big a beard in Castaway. I don't know.
I haven't seen Castaway.
Okay.
I've seen Forrest Gump.
You know the bit where he's running with the beard?
Yeah.
He runs with the beard.
Oh, this is some premium quality material, isn't it?
He's running with the beard, and it looks the same as this guy.
Yeah.
In the film.
You mean a man with a beard looks similar to another man with a beard?
Yeah, that's my reference. There we go. So yeah, and he says, "I'm Polish." And by the way, have you noticed that at other points where he's like on the? So every time that that the Polish person,
Keiran, 1 point at a time.
Okay, let me try and gather my thoughts. There's a distinction between anyone who's speaking any other language and people who are speaking Polish. So if they're speaking any other language, it's going to be in that language and it's going to be subtitled. Whereas if they're speaking Polish, they're speaking English.
Yeah.
So wait, let me just go through that again.
No, you made sense.
If they're speaking Polish, they're speaking English. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay, if they're Polish people talking together, they're speaking English.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It does make sense.
But whenever he was on the phone,
Polish is the base language.
And
the base
English.
language is English.
Yeah, of course.
Always.
That makes total sense, doesn't it? Okay. Well, I can see why listeners might be confused. If you're confused, just watch the fucking film. Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
Have you ever watched Vikings?
Vikings?
Yeah.
No.
It's a TV series. They do languages really, really well because it's based around like Norse Vikings, obviously, and then like an English person invades. No, they invade England. But basically, like, so there's English dialects, there's Spanish dialects, there's like Italian and all sorts of like, they go to all different places.
Yeah.
And whoever's like the main focus of that scene is speaking English, and the other language is like it could literally be made up. Like the English would be made up. Like,
what?
It'd be a made up English language, like as if to sound like an English dialect if you weren't English.
That's way too much effort.
No, yeah, well, it is, but it works really, really well. They do it really well. Like, it will swap between the two, who's speaking English and who's not speaking English.
That sounds like a language nerd's fucking wet dream.
Yeah, probably.
That's ridiculous.
Probably.
But anyway, so when Vladek was talking on the phone, he just instantly sounded more Polish. Because he was talking like with like pretty well spoken like English accent. And then as soon as he was on the phone, it's like, hey, it's Vladek, how's it going? Instantly, as soon as he started.
You want to go bowling?
yeah. I just heard a little bit of that. But yeah, your beef was what was your beef at that point? Completely forgot how we got there.
The fact that he knew he was Polish.
Oh yeah, I think they recognised him because he was the pianist.
Right, but how would they recognise him? Because he'd just be on the radio.
That's a good point because he wasn't the first. It wasn't the first time that someone had recognised him for being on the radio.
Yeah,
but maybe he's done concerts.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it makes sense, wouldn't it? Because
go on.
Surely you do. I don't know how it works in Poland back in the 40s, but the music industry, I know you don't just jump straight into radio.
No, I guess not. But then also, I guess as well as doing stuff on the radio, he does big concerts too.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe he does a bit of both.
There we go.
So have you got any beefs, Keiran?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go.
So not quite as late as the I'm Polish, but the point where he's found a tin of what I thought was cucumbers, but I think you're correct in saying
pickles.
They're definitely big old gherkins.
They're pickles now.
Okay, they are pickles, gherkins.
I mean, like they'd have become pickled from being in the jar for that long.
Okay, so he's got some.
That's how pickling works.
He's got some green vegetables in a jar.
It's not.
And I don't think anyone's going to hear you whispering.
It's not.
Okay, he's got some gherkins in a jar in a fucking tin, and he's trying to open this tin, and he tries to open it with a fork, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So he just walks around the house trying to. Well, it looks to me like he's walking around the house trying to find something to open these fucking gherkins with.
What's wrong with that?
Why not go back into the kitchen and have a can opener? I don't understand why in this big fancy house there wouldn't be a can opener there. Why would the people living in that house have taken the can opener?
Okay. Survival strategy 101, Keiran. You go into a kitchen. What are the 3 utensils that you grab?
Knife, fork, and spoon.
What are the 4 utensils that you grab?
Knife, fork, spoon, and can opener.
Okay, I was hoping that you might go for something. But what about if you need to start a fire? Do you have a lighter in the kitchen?
Well,
do you have
sure,
matches?
yeah, like your matches and stuff.
I feel like you just rushed straight into that. You didn't really think about it much.
Well, I mean,
knife, fork, and spoon.
I don't always.
What kind of knife? Are you getting just a normal knife? Are you getting a kitchen knife? Are you getting a chef's knife?
Fuck, I don't know why you're putting me in this position of survival mode.
No, I'm just making you think. There's bombs going on. You're ransacking a house. You need to survive. What do you grab? What do you grab?
Who am I? Am I him or am I the family that...
You're him. You've just run in. Imagine the kitchen is fully stocked.
Yeah.
What do you grab? You can only grab what you can carry in your hand.
Do I have food?
No, you've come in completely empty.
But he's not running away.
No, but you need to move. There's people coming. You're not safe here.
No, he's not running away.
Right, well, he's stupid. You're you.
Okay, so I run in and I need to grab something. 3 utensils.
Well, look.
A big fucking knife is what I grab.
You can just grab as much as you can carry. You got to carry your food.
Oh my god.
You got
a big bloody knife.
You right?
Yeah. I don't need a chopping board. Maybe a pan.
A pan,
like a sort of saucepan. Yeah. And a big spoon. I'm going to need a big spoon.
And a big spoon.
Yeah. So I've got something to eat the soup I make. Yeah. I've got something to cut bread with. And I've got something to just hold all of the food that I make.
Okay.
Pan. 3 things. There you
go.
Like
a saucepan?
Yeah, saucepan, yeah.
Okay.
Not too big. Not like
so you're not getting
wok.
any food or anything like that?
Fuck. Of course I'll get food. I'll get any food I can find.
What food are you going to find?
Any food, Jordan!
Is there going to be any tins?
Yes, I guess there will be tins.
How are you going to open those tins?
I will also look for a tin opener whilst I'm there.
Are you going to leave the can opener in the kitchen when you leave?
No,
you're going to take it with you. This is what I'm saying. So someone else has come to
Jordan.
I
spent this whole conversation trying to say, why would you not go back for the tin opener? We went on this fucking detour, and I'm having the same point that you have.
Right, yeah. So you go, you take this tin opener with you, wouldn't you?
Yes, you would, Jordan.
That's why he can't find a tin opener in the kitchen because it's gone because someone's already taken it.
No. They haven't because
How do you not know
the
that?
kitchen's not been ransacked.
Yes, it has. There's the only food he could find there. This is my point. The only food he could find there was a tin of gherkins right at the top. I'm assuming in this time they had a lot of tinned food.
Yeah.
So anyone that's taken all of the food is going to take a tin opener.
Maybe the family didn't have the gherkins before they had to evacuate that house.
Right. So they've evacuated and they've taken their tin opener.
No, because when they evacuated, maybe they couldn't. Maybe they ate all the food that they had, and they had they left
really quickly.
No.
None of this can go to waste.
No, not as they were running out. But I mean, like before they had to leave,
right?
They had naturally the amount of food that they had elapsed, or maybe the all of the food has been taken by someone else. But I just don't agree that the tin opener would have been taken out. Besides, what I'm saying, he didn't look for a can opener. We didn't see him looking for a can opener, which is my beef. Why did he not look for a tin opener? He went into the lounge and found the fucking hot poker for the coals.
Yeah.
And used that, which worked quite nicely, to be fair. But we didn't see him looking for a tin opener.
I just feel like he must have looked for one.
Okay,
or he must have, there must have been something in the kitchen. Otherwise, why would he have left the kitchen?
Fine. Well, this is going in circles, and I'm still angry at you for taking me on that ridiculous journey.
I feel like I needed to do it to make my point.
But you just stole my point because I felt like you saw that my point was coming, that he should have gone for the tin opener.
No, it was just naturally the first thing that came to mind.
Anyway, I have a very minor beef. When he was in the lounge, not when he was with the captain, but when he was in the dining room. Sorry, and I saw in the dining room the piano stool was there.
Yeah,
and I was like, the piano stool's there. There's clearly a piano in this house. He goes when the captain's like, "You're a pianist, are you? Come to the piano then." And he pulls a normal chair up to the piano. And I'm not saying that he should have gone back into the dining room and taken the piano stool, because I'm not suggesting that he might have noticed it, because considering how hungry and cold and everything that he was. But I'm just interested. I just had a little thought exploration by myself. I wonder how the piano stool got into the dining room, but a chair that should be in the dining room went into the piano room.
Maybe because was it one of those piano stools that can
change height?
Yeah. Maybe they had Nan round, and Nan's not very high, so she needs extra boosting to get to the table.
And so why would the piano stool?
Child.
Yeah. Why would the piano stool not be taken back into the piano room?
I thought that was it had been taken into the dining room.
And then why was it not taken back into the piano room afterwards?
See, so the thing where you're struggling to think of, the bit you're struggling with is, why did someone not put the thing back where they found it?
Yeah, exactly.
not necessarily why. How did it get there?
No, because
why did you not put it back?
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You literally sound like my dad.
Maybe
I don't understand. Why would you not put the thing back?
Exactly.
That's where it came from. It needs to go back there.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Okay.
I think me and your dad will get. Me and your dad do get on.
Yeah,
but I think that with this particular issue, we would. So the only thing that
you both sit there and chuckle and smile once you realise that the thing had been put back, sort of thing.
So not a big issue.
No,
just
big enough.
Big enough for it to be considered to be a beef.
Big enough for content.
just about.
Yeah.
Do you have any bits and bobs?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on how nice his hat looked for quite a while.
Oh, that's a good point.
Pretty strong hat game.
Yeah.
For quite a while there. Even when things were going pretty shitters, he still managed to find a pretty nice hat and maintain it. Good hat composure.
Good hat composure.
Yeah. Thoughts?
Oh, I don't have a particular thoughts on the hat. No.
Okay. All right. Next one then. So there was a couple of things. One where he's just walking through the street and there's a dead guy on the floor, and he just nonchalantly walks past.
Yeah.
And it's that's normal now for him. That's a bit shit.
That's quite bleak.
Can you imagine being in that sort of situation where you're just walking down the street to your job, and there's just a dead guy on the middle of the road, everyone's sort of walking around?
That is quite bleak. And it's something that I did think about. It's how who's cleaning up the streets? You know? In a non-superhero kind of way.
Yeah, all right, okay, yeah. Right. Well, I mean, bin men are the superheroes of the streets.
Maybe
are they not?
So
if they didn't, we'd be.
Or would there be those little tiny trucks that you have, that go along the gutter and they kind of collect up rubbish and stuff.
Street sweepers.
Yeah, is there a street sweeper but for like dead bodies and stuff? Like a really big Hoover, goes and then picks up a dead body and puts him in a.
I don't know, but we need to get John Dyson on it. If there is, is it John Dyson?
Sounds about right.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Well, we won't linger on that too long.
Okay.
Won't get sucked into that one.
Oh, nice.
So
be in this.
No. So the other thing that I wanted to say was.
Oh, can I quickly say? When I was a kid, we used to call if there'd be dust under a cabinet or something, but not like a thin layer of dust. I mean like a load of fluffy dust. My mum,
fluffy dust, yeah.
Yeah. My mum and my sister and I used to call it noo-noos.
Why?
Like, get the Hoover and collect all the noo-noos. Because in the
noo-noo is the Hoover.
In the fucking Teletubbies, that's what the name of the Hoover is.
So why did you not call the Hoover noo-noo, not the dust?
Because it was just like, I don't know, like, I don't know, maybe it was a misunderstanding that my mum had, and it was like, oh yeah, the Hoover picks up the noo-noos, but like...
It's like when I was younger, the ground... We used to call that Tinky Winky because
what the fuck?
In the Teletubbies, Tinky Winky walked on the ground. Yeah, no, it's the same logic.
Stop trying to logic my childhood, Jordan. I'm just trying
Your
to share.
childhood is nothing but logic.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. So it does make sense that you're questioning it because it should be more logical.
Yeah, that doesn't belong.
It doesn't add up with the rest of my childhood.
That's like been implanted. I think you got abducted and probed, and they put in a fake memory.
Oh, so that's just like one of them to make it feel like I have a normal childhood.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, what were we going to say?
Drilling in, like, the idea of putting things back where they came from.
Yeah.
I was going to say, there's the part where he's running out of the building that he was safe in for a while. The first hotel.
Well, not really a hotel, but yes.
Yeah.
The one where there's the German woman going, he's a Jew.
Yeah. And he's running out and there's people chasing him and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's, like, shots being fired.
Pew, pew.
Like, when you're in that situation... and you have no idea necessarily where you are, and there's things coming at you, and he's looking, trying to figure out where to go.
Yeah.
That must be so stressful.
Well, yes.
It's like, where do I go? Where's it? Like, literally, you don't know where you're going. If you go left, that's a dead end. If you go right, that might be your salvation, but you don't know.
That is stress.
Like,
but he must know the area somewhat. It is kind of Warsaw still, no?
Maybe.
But that is stressful. I guess the idea is that you run away from the gunfire. Maybe that's number one criteria.
I suppose, yeah, that makes sense. That's probably a good bet. You don't run towards the gunfire.
Yeah. Although the guy did say in the third place, because he went from there to the emergency. He went to the couple that he used to know.
Yeah.
And then from there they took him to
he said it was like the safest place was in the lion's den.
In the heart of the lion's den, yeah. Yeah. I just found it cool in a bit of a spy kind of stealthy way.
In a spy
kind of way. In case of emergency, go to this address. I would like someone to come up to me and be like, by the way, if any shit goes down, go to this address. And you don't know what's
just
going.
Any dude come up to you and be like, random stranger comes up to you with an address and says, if shit goes down,
just in case
here.
you need. And it's like, the boiler's broken in my flat. And it's like, okay, I've got to go to this address.
And then he just like walks into the middle of the road and dies.
What?
No, like if a stranger came up to you, said if any shit goes down.
Why would he walk into the middle of the road and then die?
And no, like walks into the middle of the road and gets hit by a car and dies.
Deliberately?
Yeah.
Why would he do that?
Or like shoots himself. Just look, we're talking about a fantastical, hypothetical.
But I wouldn't trust.
Strange situation.
I just wouldn't trust him.
Would you not be curious though?
I guess I would be curious, but I'd just be.
The guy gave you this note and then killed himself. You're not going to get rid of the note, are you? You're going to hold on to the note.
Yeah, but this is a guy who.
Are you going to call the police?
He's telling me to go somewhere safe. Like, so this is a place that you go to be safe in the case of an emergency. But then he's just like gone ahead and killed himself. So clearly, his own barometer for what is safe and not safe is somewhat askew if he's just going ahead and see why my judgment would be a little bit like I don't really know what to do now because I'm really curious. But then at the same time, I feel like if I just tried to Men in Black, like lasered myself in the eyes and forgot this ever happened, then I might be better off at this particular time.
But you can't do that.
No, I guess I can't do that.
So what do you do?
Probably
Yeah, you need to go. You need to find out.
I might have to North by Northwest it and just become a fucking James Bond and just do my own
I think
investigative
it
work.
depends, doesn't it? Like if you're actually in a situation where lots of shit had gone down, what if your options are looking very, very slim? Would you go?
Well, would I go to this address?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say like
so.
you're like, if you stay in your house for longer than 10 minutes, the police are going to come in and arrest you, and you're going to.
Oh yeah, man, I'd go.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds really exciting.
Yeah,
right
man,
now.
I'd go.
Yeah, let's go on an adventure. Yeah, it sounds a little bit like that, but yes, I mean, it'd be the only thing that you can do because you don't want to get taken in by the feds. So
you get in there, there's just like loads of mason jars full of eyeballs,
and it's like, okay, what's going down here?
But just a naked man masturbating in the middle of the room.
Well, it could be worse. It could be worse.
Well, we got eyes to eat, and
and
this guy's obviously got a good internet connection.
Hey, what's the Wi-Fi code?
Yeah.
Just one last point.
Yeah.
All you need in a Jewish Holocaust film is one good Nazi, and they will sort you out. That's what it feels like. Okay, there wasn't that in Life is Beautiful.
No.
We nearly had that in Life is Beautiful, but we didn't.
Yeah. See,
it feels like a lot of the films that I've seen where it's regarding like Holocaust stuff or like Second World War, it's like you need a good Nazi on the inside.
I mean, I liked that he helped, but he's still a Nazi, and it didn't make me feel as good as I thought it would. You know what I mean? Like in Life is Beautiful, I was just hoping one of them would be a decent guy, and in this one of them was a decent guy. But I definitely wasn't sad when he seemed to still die and all of that.
I mean, also you didn't want to take away from Vladik's struggle. You know, if it just turned into, oh, look how great this German guy is, then that wouldn't have been the same thing at all. But I do see what you mean.
Yeah, I've seen too many World War II films in the last like month or so. I just don't like Nazis at the moment.
No, I mean, I don't really think I'm going to have a time in my life where I do like Nazis. But
that's a strange sentence to make, I guess.
Yeah. Any more bits and bobs?
No, that's it.
Sweet. If you were to be someone in the film?
I would be Vladislav.
Yes.
Because he survives.
Okay.
But then I'd probably, I don't know, I feel, can he write music? He does write music, doesn't he? Like, you see him writing a piece when he's working.
I think he's just making notes on the
Is he?
on the score or something.
But I don't know. It looked like the score was half empty.
Maybe he's right. Maybe he's writing.
I'd write a song about the whole thing.
What would you call it? I'd call it Finger in Jam, Movement 1.
Oh God, yeah.
Because
oh my God,
so
yeah.
that was the weirdest part of the film for me. So the captain, this German guy, had helped him out with some bread and some jam. And when he opened up the packet and he saw the jam, he was clear the point of it was like, oh, he hasn't had jam in so long and he's loving the jam so much. But when he put his finger inside the jam and he was properly having a real old wriggle, it was. I mean, there's no other way to say it. He was fingering that jam.
You were visually doing it very well.
Yeah, it was.
It's just you can't see, but
it was really.
Keiran is getting into that hypothetical jam.
Yeah, and then he put it. He licked his lips. He licked his finger, and his.
Yeah.
And like for a split second, it was like, okay, this is. But then we were back to the reality of of the thing.
I'd be psyched to get some jam if I was in his situation.
Oh yeah, I'd be pumped.
Yeah,
I'd be absolutely pumped.
Jam's great.
Bread and jam.
Yeah.
That's a solid combo.
Bit of straw on that.
Yeah. I'm with that. Although we had no water, which is a bit difficult.
Yeah. Maybe it was fresh bread. It probably was not fresh bread.
Although, could he have got snow to use for water from the roof at that point? Maybe. Okay. If I was to be someone in the film, I'd be the Saslev, the guy who, in the second apartment that he lived in, just didn't bring him any food because he was pocketing all the money.
Right. Yeah.
I'd just be him.
Yeah.
And not do what he does.
Just throw yourself off a building.
Gosh, be fucking.
Well, actually, you'd probably fuck over.
Unbelievable, because I could tell he was a prick initially.
Yeah.
Because he was.
You can tell, can't you? He's got that weird look about him, like, I'm a good guy, but I'm not.
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to help you out. Oh, this is exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like when he closed the door really quietly, he was like, oh, Oh,
Yeah,
here we
like,
go.
cheeky smile, like everything's gonna be fine. Don't worry, mate. I'll
Vladek's
take
like,
all your money.
I'm literally dying right now.
Yeah, I would rather die than see that guy again.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I would.
Yeah. I mean, given the situation, I'd probably change my mind.
But Vladek was like, I think I've got jaundice. And this guy was like, yeah,
don't worry about it.
Nah, no chance. So I'd just be him and not do that.
Okay. Who would you bring in?
I would bring in. Do you know the British spy from Inglourious Basterds?
Yeah, Jude Law from
Yeah.
England. Yeah.
So again, what with it being another film set in the Second World War, Inglourious Basterds is another good place to pick characters from because they're quite interesting.
Yeah.
And I think.
What would you do?
So I would put on the German accent. Now, with this fake German accent, I would go and pretend that I was Polish.
Yeah.
Because maybe the Germans wouldn't be able to tell what a Polish German what a Polish person speaking German sounds like versus what an English person speaking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I would use my spy savviness
Spy sav.
spy sav to that's pretty cool. Spy sav to get out of some shit and to liberate some Jews and stuff. If you were to bring someone in, who would you bring?
Okay, I'd bring in what is it? Is it Simmons? JJ Simmons?
Gene Simmons? Gene Simmons is the singer from Kiss. Wrong guy.
JJ Simmons.
Yeah, JJ Simmons, I think.
Yeah, from Whiplash. Well, his character from Whiplash.
Which one's that?
I've forgotten what his name is, but he's the the shouting teacher man.
Oh, okay. And what? And who would you shout at?
Vladislav. So I'd have him as one of the Nazi that comes in and finds him. And when he says that he's a pianist, he has to. He's like, "Show me."
And he starts playing. First chord.
It's okay. He's like, "Do you know Chopin's the great Polish man or whatever that one is?"
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take it from the 14th bar.
Vladislav was like, "What the fuck are you on?"
1, 2, 3. Nope. Let's do it at my tempo. Not quite my tempo. That scene would have been a little bit more interesting if he was stopping him.
I mean, the dialogue would have been. I mean, there would have been dialogue as opposed to it being just piano.
Yeah,
and it would be quite funny to in the middle of this very emotional rendition where Vladislav is like trying to fucking like summon the energy and getting energy from the piano, like when he's not crying, but he's crying in the inside or something. The guy just cuts him out like, no, rushed a bit. Just that would be funny.
Yeah, that would be great. Okay. So would you stay indoors for this film?
Fuck yeah. I found it, like, I only found those beefs right at the end.
Yeah.
Considering this film is like over 2 hours, I was like, shit, like, this is such a good film, man. It's so good.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd stay indoors. I enjoyed it. I think at the moment I've got Nazi fatigue. We've just watched quite a few World War II films recently, so I'm getting a little bit like,
yeah.
Okay.
I should really want to watch like some more animated films or like some rom-coms.
Could really go for some Studio Ghibli right now.
Yeah, I could dig a Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
Or just I'm really feeling a rom-com, personally.
I'm not, but
Okay.
I'm never feeling a rom-com.
Yeah, that's okay.
So what are we watching next week, Kieran?
Next week we're watching Once Upon a Time in the West.
Yes.
And
it is not a Studio Ghibli animated film, nor is it a rom-com.
Well, I don't think it's a rom-com, but yeah. So
I'm assuming.
And that, just so you know, listeners, is going to be part of it's going to be part 1 of a 2-part.
Yes. A cheeky little double hitter.
So, all right. See you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Would you rather have a box of tissues or a tissue box?
A box of tissues.
Great. So you can send in those quirky questions to 250reasons@gmail.com.
That's a stupid question because then I've got a box full of tissues and a tissue box.
Well, I was kind of thinking that it would be a box made of tissues.
Oh, then a tissue box.
But then a box made of tissues would be really light.
It would be shit though, wouldn't it?
Paper mache vibe.
If it gets wet, then it's gone.
I guess, but if you needed to blow your nose really quickly, you could just fall into your suitcase. It would work out
How
quite
big
nicely.
is this box?
I was thinking like full on, like,
Big enough to get in?
oh yeah, maybe.
Big enough to take a bath in?
If you sneezed whilst you were inside the suitcase, it would be fine.
Why is it all of a sudden a suitcase?
I just felt like it would be a suitcase that you would take onto an airplane, but it's made of tissues.
Okay, anyway, 250reasons@gmail.com is our email address if you'd like to send in one of those weird questions and
We'll answer it probably.
fuck with my mind some more.
Yeah.
You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Acast, Podbean, YouTube, all the good podcast places. And you can get in touch with us on social media at 250reasons. So do those things, stay in school, and have a good time.
Okay. See you later.
Bye.